What is that smell? I am definitely getting a hint of a deal. Oh wait, it's more than a hint. Yeah, these are the best deals, and not just this season, but all year long. In all seriousness, the smartest shoppers know that you get the brands you love with the most savings and cash back with Rakuten. And I know I'm certainly interested in sniffing out those deals. Start getting cash back at your favorite stores like Urban Outfitters, Petco, even Expedia, and getting cash back doesn't mean you have to miss out on sales because those can be stacked right on top. It's easy to use and based on a simple idea. Stores pay Rakuten for sending them shoppers, and Rakuten shares the money with you as cashback through PayPal or check. Smells like a perfect deal to me. Download the free Rakuten app and never miss a deal. Or go to Rakuten.com to start getting the most bang for your buck. That's Rakuten. Sometimes the best part of a secret is being part of its reveal, and it's even better if I can solve a mystery or two of my own along the way. When I'm looking to escape reality and bring out my competitive side, I turn to a tale of murder and romance in June's Journey. It's a game full of secrets, where every clue brings you closer to the truth. June's Journey is a hidden object mystery game, where you play as June Parker as she uncovers scandalous family secrets at her sister's estate. I love playing June's Journey because I get genuinely invested in both the storyline and my ability to spot all the clues at each level. Each chapter brings you deeper into the story. Plus, it's set in the roaring 20s, so beyond discovering clues, you can explore stunning scenes from New York parlors to Parisian sidewalks. They get more complex the further along you go, and it's so fun to compete with friends and other players for the fastest case solving and highest scores. How sharp are your observation skills? Put them to the test in June's Journey. Download for free today on iOS and Android.
Let's hang out. Let's hang out. And let's talk about what Legend's about. Let's hang out. And let's listen to two lesbians shout. Let's hang out. Let's hang out.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Lez Hang Out. I'm Ellie Brigida.
And I'm Leigh Holmes Foster, and here's what's happening this week.
This week in the Lesdom.
This week in the Lesdom is a place where we can touch base each episode about things going on with the podcast or otherwise. In season 8, we are continuing to release our Patreon bonus episodes. Our last one was on Dix the Musical, and our next one will be on Amelia Perez, so check that out at bit.ly/LezPatreon.
Buckle up, everyone. In the Greater Lez universe, first, we want to start with, obviously, I think everyone is aware by now of the situation in LA and the surrounding areas with all the wildfires, house fires, just everything going on. I'm sure a lot of you have seen, we've posted links to some things about funds that are being raised specifically for some of the queer and lesbian bars that have been impacted. But, you know, there's so many ways to help. So just keep an eye out if you don't have links to good places for resources of where to donate, how you can help out, and especially how you can be involved in helping queer people who are being affected by everything that's been going on. Just hit us up. We are happy to point you in the right directions and help share some of the links to some of the things we know about.
In the Greater Lez universe, the new season of Traitors has just come out and is inspiring a lovely new meme from Gabby Windy, who was on The Bachelor. And somebody asked, "Oh, how have you been since the season?" And she said, "I'm a lesbian now." And you know what? We love that for you. Yep. Hell yeah.
I love that. Can I tell you my dumbest Traitors story, which you can cut from this if we go too long? But I think it'll make you laugh, which is that someone posted something on Blue Sky where they were like, oh, you know, like, do I need to know about Traitors, all this stuff? Like, how do people seem to know everything about this show? And I replied back saying, everything I know about the show Traitors, I learned from a Traitors AU The Wilds fan fiction that I read. And then and then Lauren Flans just replied to me, and all her post said was, Leigh ... And I was like, impossible for me to tell if you are judging me or want the link or both.
Or
honestly.
have also read it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes. Hard to say.
She hasn't answered yet, so hard to say.
Very hard
so
to
there
say.
you go. That's That's my Traitors knowledge and my Traitors story.
And that makes sense for you.
Also in the Greater Lez universe, there is a Australian animated feature film that is an independent film. It's called Lesbian Space Princess.
Thank God.
And it apparently just was picked up by a distribution company. So that theoretically sounds like something that's going to be available for us to watch soon. And I need to read you the quick blurb that they have describing this in the article that I found, Ellie. So here's the story of Lesbian Space Princess. Yeah. It says, An anxious space princess is thrust out of her sheltered life and into a galactic quest to save her bounty hunter ex-girlfriend from the straight white Malians.
Wow.
Along the way, a problematic spaceship and a runaway gay pop idol join her hazardous encounters with blade-wielding maniacs, dangerous dick turrets, and the scariest thing of all, her own self-doubt. And I need to tell you exactly why I love this so much. Does that not sound like every should have been gay
we've ever done
synopsis? Just every gay synopsis we've ever written. Like, that is it. That's it.
Yes.
But it's a real movie.
Wow.
And I'm excited.
I cannot wait.
It sounds incredible.
Les Central's coming soon. Also in the Greater Lez universe, Lucy Dacus did an open call for cool hot masks on her TikTok. And I just find this really funny because it's like, think you're hot and cool and mask, like film a video being hot, cool, and mask. And I just think, like, you know, if you're a queer person on TikTok who's looking for a girlfriend, all you have to do is look up this Lucy Dacus sound. And every single video will be, well, somebody who thinks they're a cool hot mask. We'll see. But I cannot wait.
Up for debate, you're saying?
Debate, yeah. But I just think it's like it's a hilarious open call for me.
I love that.
Yeah. So good on you, Lucy.
It's great when we have systems, you know?
It also feels like Lucy's like, I'm single. Can I just get some hot masks in my in my music video? Thanks.
Honestly, bless her for that. That's what's happening this week. Back to you, Ellie and Leigh.
Thanks, Ellie and Leigh, and welcome to our 140th installment of Should Have Been Gay.
Oh, it was fun, it was great, but it should have been a little more gay.
And in this week's episode, Cowboy Maybe I'm Gay.
Perfect.
Also, can we just take a hot moment?
Wide
140.
Open spaces. And it's a butt. Yes, the wide open space is a butthole.
Yes, there you go.
I don't know. But we're doing it.
We're doing it. 140.
140.
Love a round number like that. Also crazy.
Also, so many episodes.
So many episodes. So many. It is so funny sometimes when you talk to, like, you ever talk to a new person who has never either heard of our podcast or didn't know you do a podcast, and then you try to explain this shtick to them, and then I'll be like, yeah, we've done 130 something of those episodes, and then they sort of just look at you for a moment, and you're like, correct. Everything on the planet is in actuality gay.
Yes. I feel like if I've told someone years ago or if I told someone yesterday, to be fair, it's the same answer, but it is funnier to be like, when they're like, oh, which ones have you done? And you're like,
Yeah. Yeah. You're like, hold on, let me pull up spreadsheet.
A list of 140 options for you. You pick your favorite. Because I feel like in the beginning, I was like, oh yeah, like, bring it on, League of Their Own. Like, there were like certain ones that I would always mention because I was like, easy. The first ones, Jenny's Wedding. And now I'm like, I don't even remember what we did last week.
No, I know. No. It's crazy. And then sometimes I'll talk about something and I'm like, oh yeah, we just did a thing on that. And I'm like, it was episode number 98. And I'm like, fuck.
Just did it years ago.
We just did it. God damn it.
I know.
Anyways, some of you might remember last season? Was that last season?
See, we're doing it again, Leigh. You just proved your point.
Shh, quiet. Who asked you, Ellie? I think it was last season because time is a meaningless void and I can't keep track anymore. So I believe last season was during the writer's strike when we were trying to avoid any struck work. And what we ended up doing is sort of branching out and doing some, doing some books, doing some alternative things than movies that we were trying not to talk about.
Some music.
We did some music. So you may remember we spent a whole hour yelling at each other about Dolly Parton's Jolene.
Yep.
Which honestly is still one of my favorite things we've done. But you know what we were thinking is like I recently had my my kids get in a whole the Chicks kick, right?
Mhm.
We've had a resurgence of the Chicks in my life lately. And I had pitched Ellie the idea of doing an episode where we sort of went back to the music idea a little bit. So that's what we're doing today.
I love that your kids love the Chicks. What a vibe.
Yeah. And also, it's very funny how we got here because it was just one of those random things where it's like, you know, sometimes you're just like, oh, here's a song that like the girls have never heard or that's something. And then we ended up with this weird thing where they had a day at the girls' school where they needed parents who would do sort of like open mic-y type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I mean, listen, like, you know, when you do that in a group of random elementary school parents, I'm like, no one wants to be on a stage. No one wants to be doing something in front of the other parents. It's like, if you need that asshole, I'll be that asshole and go sing something, sure. And I picked a Dixie Chicks song. And, you know, then all of a sudden, like, I'm playing it in the car to
What
be like,
song?
oh, I sang Cowboy Take Me Away.
Nice.
And listen, the Chicks is great for my range, actually. It's a good fit for me. It's a good fit for the I hear extremely, you know, nasal quality of my voice, Ellie.
Who said that?
I don't know. Who would say such a thing? So anyways, no, we ended up like I was playing it in the car more. The girls got super into it. Then we started playing like more and more songs and anyways. So here we are. We are going to deep dive a Should Have Been Gay into the full discography of the Chicks throughout the years.
Yep.
And honestly, I'm feeling so ready.
You've been ready, Leigh.
I've been ready. My whole life has led me here, I think.
Are you going to give us I'm like, it's not an IMDb synopsis, but are you going to just say like, for those of you who don't know, who are the Chicks?
For those of you unfamiliar with the Chicks, here is the, I think, like first sentence or two from the Wikipedia page on them. The Chicks, formerly the Dixie Chicks, are an American country band from Dallas, Texas. The band consists of Natalie Maines on lead vocals, guitar, and bass guitar, and then sisters Marty McGuire on vocals, fiddle, mandolin, and guitar, and Emily Strayer on vocals, guitar, banjo, and dobro. Is that how you say that?
I don't know, but sounds right to me.
Dobro. I don't know. How do we do a gay? Can we do a gay recap of the Chicks?
I don't know if we really can. I think maybe I'll just say,
yeah, give me your gay take on the Chicks.
Thoughts on the Chicks. Like we've said in previous musical episodes, we're not speculating on the sexuality of the Chicks.
No,
as
not at
human
all.
beings. But I do feel like it's interesting to talk about the Chicks because the Chicks write music, right? From a like political activist lens that's very different than other country bands. Like I just feel like the Chicks' existence is in and of itself queer and revolutionary.
Yeah.
Just because of the like strong women 3-part harmonies and like the topics that they tend to tackle. And we can dive more into each specific song. But like I think when you say the Chicks should have been gay, it's like it's an easy bridge to bridge because they have been very outspoken allies. And I feel like their music does resonate with queer people as a whole.
Yeah. It really does.
So I don't know.
Really
What
does.
do you have to say, Leigh, about like an overarching theme for you?
Here's
for
what
this
I would
episode?
say. As a young gay who had a huge country music phase, I think the statement "the Chicks' music resonates with queer people" is an understatement at best. I had a huge Dixie Chicks phase, like in high school and stuff. And yeah, I mean, it was just the reason that I'm quite literally saying their whole discography. There are so many of their songs that were our gay music at the time. You know, when at a time, listen, you have to understand, listeners, this is back in a time before Chappell Roan, before Hayley Kiyoko, before even really Katy Perry being gay for pay, right? In that kind of way. Like what we had as gay songs back then was a different mix. Okay.
Was a different time.
We were not eating her out in the passenger seat. We were
loving her better.
We were saying goodbye to Earl. We were
killing a man.
We were a long time gone, okay? That's what we were like. I'm trying to think back to what were like the gayest songs for us at the time, and this is literally what's coming to mind is Long Time Gone, Tattoo. Tattoo was big up there. For some reason, I remember my best friend and I had a big moment in, I think it was less that the song was gay. I think it just made us feel gay. I can't remember what it's called, but if I sing it, Ellie, I think you'll know what it is. It's like the, if you're not the one, then why do I dream of you as my wife? Like that one. Do you know that song?
Yes.
Okay. I don't want to put it down.
Yes.
I can't take it.
Yes, I know
don't
it. It's
understand, right?
It's
What's that fucking song called?
Natasha Bedingfield's brother, isn't it?
Yeah. It's Daniel Bedingfield. And what's the fucking song called, though?
It's called If You're Not the One.
If You're Not the One. Okay. Anyways, I think it was just that it was like it had lyrics that if you sang them as a girl, they felt gay, right? That's what we were working with at the time. It wasn't even the song is gay. It was like if I
it was should have been gay. Should have been
the
gay
song,
for music. Yeah, we should have been gay in all of music. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So that's where we were at, and I think what felt the gayest to us were songs with messages that felt inclusive, that felt against the patriarchy, that were sung by beautiful female vocals, that were lush and ripe with harmonies that you could harmonize together, like the fucking theater gays that we were. Okay?
Ain't that the truth?
This is what I think you have to understand about the historical context of Leigh's coming out years and how the Dixie Chicks really factored into that.
It makes sense.
Yeah,
it makes a lot of sense, Leigh. I think it's going to make sense
where
for a lot
I think
of people
my history
out there.
is. I really hope so, because honestly, I'm so excited about this.
I think we, like, you sort of talked about your experience with the Chicks. Like, for me, same thing. Like, we did a bunch of chick songs in my a cappella groups, right? So it's like I was singing.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
I was singing the Chicks since I was.
You were singing.
I was singing the Chicks. We do Goodbye Earl and the Femmes because it's a gay song. The Chicks just.
Can I tell you?
It gives gay. It gives gay.
It does give gay. I also think it's very funny because since you know how I talk to you a lot about listening to music with Eloise, right? And there's nothing funnier to me than sometimes trying to contextualize music for a 6-year-old where, we played a lot of the Chicks and sometimes you just put on the like best of or the, like top Spotify songs, whatever. And Goodbye Earl comes on. And she really liked Goodbye Earl, but she didn't get it. And then she's asking me to explain it. And and I'm trying to explain the
big
dark
this man.
humor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're sort of trying to explain where you're like, well, it's just a song, first of all.
Yes.
I'm like, they're not really killing anyone. And you're trying to explain why sometimes I'm like, obviously we don't actually kill people, but
sometimes they deserve to die.
But sometimes when you talk about, I'm trying to explain like absurdist humor to my 6-year-old. I'm like, sometimes when you talk about something that's so crazy,
yes,
and it's funny, and the music and the voices are doing all this stuff, and so anyways, it's comical. But also don't kill anyone.
Yeah.
But it's funny when they do it.
Yeah. Don't kill anyone, but like we cheer on the Chicks when they killed that man.
But also fuck Earl, right?
Yes.
It's just
it's you know what? She's gonna grow up and she's gonna be like, I remember the first time my mom explained to me about killing men.
Yeah.
Same way I'm like, I sang Two Become One. Eloise is like, yeah, I love Goodbye Earl.
Yes. Correct. Listen, my child is going to be like, yeah, I fucking love like every song in 6. Like she's been on a huge, we watched a bootleg recording of 6 recently. So she's been big into her All You Want to Do phase. She's always big into the Hamilton, like Take a Break is her favorite song in Hamilton. She's big into that. She's big into Satisfied. She's big into the Chicks. Yeah, someday Eloise is going to look back on her childhood and be like, what the fuck?
Can't wait.
And
I can't wait for that day.
To it.
I can't
really
wait for that day. Very exciting for you and for her. I'd love to dive into the songs, and I feel like
Do it.
we sort of started with it. I want to start with Goodbye Earl because
yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like we could have done an entire episode on
Just on
Goodbye
Goodbye
Earl.
Earl.
First things first. I mean, the whole concept. Marianne and Wanda were the best of friends.
They fucked.
Right?
Yes.
So Wanda's abused by this man. The second that Marianne hears about this,
Yeah.
she flies in
Yeah.
from Atlanta
On a
to-
red-eye
to a red-eye
flight.
midnight flight to kill a man.
Yeah.
This is like the ultimate lesbian revenge story.
Honestly, Ellie, you're gonna hate me.
It's okay.
You have made a monster, but like, what if we made a musical?
Come on. Give it to me.
What if we made a musical? The story, largely this story, but just actually gay, and also with more songs.
I mean, yes, I feel like, Leigh, if we made this musical, next year the Chicks would announce that they are putting on a Broadway musical based on Goodbye Earl. Like, I
Yeah.
don't see why this isn't already happening. Like, I can't imagine this is not in
feels-
pre-production.
It feels like low-hanging fruit, right?
It's right there.
Oh my god. And listen, not to sound a little sure of myself, but I feel like I could write us a country musical.
Do it.
that
Do
is this story. I feel like all my songs try to turn into country songs anyways if I don't kind of really hold the reins tight. I think we could do this.
Do it. Well, here's the thing. It sort of is the plot line to Fried Green Tomatoes. You know, like, there's...
I feel like we could do more. I feel like we could, I don't know.
But I'm just saying, there's a whole
still
thing, right?
opportunity
In Fried Green
there.
I'm like, I can't remember because that was a long time ago that we did Fried Green Tomatoes should have been gay.
You mean last week?
Yes. But they also killed a man. They
Yeah.
kill Barnett, right? And they never find him. And then I do feel like this is like loosely based off the Whistle Stop Cafe. And maybe I'm wrong. Because they bought some land and a roadside stand out on Highway 109. Can you tell
Yeah.
that I sing this song so often?
I mean, it's a bop of a song. Why wouldn't you?
Exactly.
The thing that was the funniest about listening to the Chicks with the girls all of a sudden more is I probably haven't played a Dixie Chicks song in years. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. You know how you just sort of like fade
You remember,
things,
but you still
things-
remember.
I
Yes.
knew every single word to songs that I haven't listened to because it's also like I had a bunch of the CDs, and so it's like, you know, the songs that still get airtime, I'm not surprised by. There were songs that I'm like, these do not get played much, and it would come on, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, why I know every word of this album apparently is what's happening. So I'm with you. Listen, it's a bop of a song. You should know all the words. But no, I agree. The whole story of this song, I know that it is not explicitly gay, and yeah, come at us with your platonic female friendships are important, okay? Get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
Get that out of my should have been gay. That's not
No.
the point. The point is these girls gay, okay?
They're
the best of friends. They held hands and came up with a plan, and that plan was to spend their lives together after killing a man.
Exactly. And I'm saying, okay, think about this. Why Marianne went out looking for a bright new world, right? Why does anyone leave a small town? Gay,
Gay.
right?
Marianne flew to fucking, like, Silver Lake.
Exactly. Marianne was like, I'm out of here. I have to be gay. And then she's feeling guilty because she left her closeted girlfriend and she's like, fuck. Now I did this thing. Wanda's all alone. Like, she's trying to get over her high school girlfriend. She's like, all right. Yeah. It wasn't like she got married. Like, Wanda meets this man after her girlfriend leaves. And she's like, I guess this is it. Right. Honestly, this could all weave together so well because it leads right into I Can Love You Better. And so Marianne comes back and she's singing I Can Love You Better to Wanda, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll make you forget all about him because he's dead. Right? And this music video also gay. This music video is so good.
There's a couple other things that I want to talk about. One, okay, first of all, the killing of a man of it all. There's a couple things where it's also just the immediacy that with which Wanda and Marianne become a cohesive, like, single unit in the song.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that everyone sort of accepts that, right? Like, the cops come by and search the house, and then they're just like, thank you, ladies. Like, because they live together in this house that they live in together, clearly and obviously, right? And then they leave that house to buy more land together. So they're like, oh, we gotta upgrade. We need some more space, right? They are urged to merging it. They're spending every day together.
Exactly.
They live together.
They
work a roadside stand together.
Yeah, the roadside stand really gets me.
They're like, we need to spend all day selling ham and jam together.
Mm-hmm.
Also, just something about the phrase ham and jam feels gay in a way that I can't explain.
Clam jam. Ham jam, clam jam. It's true. Yep.
Make of that what you will, listeners.
Yep.
And I also think there's something funny about the line, they don't lose any sleep at night because Earl had to die. And I think there's two ways that you could read this line. One is just like, they're sleeping peacefully like babies in the clearly shared bed that they're in. The song doesn't say it, but I think it's implied.
Yep.
It's really in there if you read between the lines.
They don't lose any sleep at night together. Yes, it's clearly they're sleeping next to each other.
The two in one bed.
Each other's arms.
Yeah.
They don't
not lose any sleep at night.
Yes.
But what I also think is funny is the other way you could read that line is they don't lose any sleep at night only because Earl had to die, but otherwise they're up all night. They fucking.
That's so true. So true.
That's my alternate reading.
They fucking.
Of that line. They fucking all night, but they're not losing sleep because Earl had to die. That's fine.
Yes.
Rests on their conscience, not at all. But
You're
the
right.
sex keeps them up.
It just depends,
like
where you put the comma, right? It's just where you just changes.
It changed the
everything.
meaning. Did you intend this?
Changes everything. Also, shout out to Lauren Holly and Jane Krakowski, because Jane Krakowski plays Wanda and Lauren Holly plays Marianne in the music video. And to me, their pairing is beautiful.
I'm trying to remember when the last time I even saw that music video was. It's probably been 15 years.
It's worth another watch, Leigh. Not gonna lie.
I should look it up, honestly.
And just like the joy with, I would like to also say what's funny about this is, so this song was written by somebody else and performed like a significant amount of time before. The Chicks actually did like a lot of covers, but because they did them like the Chicks, you think it's their song, which is amazing. And it was originally performed by a man. And I just feel like the Chicks singing this song is also what makes it gay, which is why it's like the 3-part harmony of hey, 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 this man is dead is just like a chorus of lesbians being like, yeah, fuck your girl. Like
God.
the chicks are the ultimate allies. That's all I'm saying. The ultimate
They really
allies.
are. And I think that's another reason that a lot of these songs sort of come across gay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything else you want to say about Goodbye Earl?
No, I mean it's very right. It's like that's why I was saying let's start with it. It's like it's a softball. It's the easiest, most obvious one, right?
Okay.
I feel good about where we've left it because it's clear.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do then next is pitch what I think is. If you had to ask me what I think the gayest chick song is, I would vote "Long Time Gone."
Great.
Okay, so I wanna dive into "Long Time Gone" because this I feel like for me, when I was in high school, newly out, right? I mean, this song came out in 2002. I came out in 2003.
Mm-hmm.
So this was really hitting at the time. Because I still, if you ask me, I still think this is one of the clearest, almost overtly gay songs that they sing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So it is the Chicks singing this song. So it is a
Women.
female
Yes.
voice
Mhm.
singing this song, okay? And you have this thing of Delia, right?
Uh-huh.
For anyone who hasn't heard the song, I mean, listen to it. But there's two verses that I'd like to focus on.
Great.
One of them says, Delia plays that old church piano, sitting out on her daddy's farm. She always thought that we'd be together. Lord, I never meant to do her harm. Okay?
Mhm.
That's stage one of the story of unnamed narrator of the song and Delia.
Yep.
Then you come back around to Delia later on in the song with the lines, now me and Delia singing every Sunday, watching the children in the garden grow. We listen to the radio to hear what's cooking, but the music ain't got no soul. Okay? And then they do all their little, like, musical name, country name puns. Okay,
Mhm.
that's not the important part. I have never yet really heard a satisfactory straight explanation of this song. This song is essentially change the names. This is Marianne and Wanda, right?
Yes. Well, and also it's giving Betty.
I mean,
It's
yes.
giving Betty. I mean, because the straight explanation is that this is a song by a man about it's the same. They cover, right? They cover a lot of songs, but I do think the queer thing about it is that the chicks don't change pronouns.
No.
They actively decide not to, right? And I think that that's what makes them allies and queer as fuck, right?
Yes.
Because
but here's what I'm saying. When they released this song, I don't think we got the whole Betty take on, oh, well, we're just singing it from, like, I don't feel like that ever happened.
No.
It was just, here we are, we're singing this song. And the song is all about somebody who had a woman who clearly was into them. They kind of got, the gist that this woman was into them and ran away.
Mm-hmm.
And then came back and now lives with that woman watching their children grow at their farm where they live together and sit on the porch listening to music together. So when I was coming out, we were just like losing our mind. This felt like the gayest song we had ever heard in our lives collectively, right? Because what are you even talking about?
And it's just the chicks love a song about. I like what you're talking about the like. It's like they love a song about the running away and the coming back, and the running away and the coming back is so gay.
It's so gay. And it's also just, there's that whole part of this song with the like, oh, I caught wind, I hit the road running. It's like the gay panic, the, like, oh, I don't want that. I'm not gay.
Exactly. She thought we were going to be together. And I was like, I gotta leave and go marry a man or be by myself.
I gotta go.
I cannot be here. And then it's like there's nothing gayer too than like this similar theme, right? Of the Marianne and Wanda and the Delia and the narrator, right? Of like trying to run away from your high school crush and then being like, nah, I'm gay. I'm actually in love with the first woman I ever was in love with.
Yes. Relatable queer culture, right? To be like, actually, I fucking pieced out because I was not ready to come out. And then I had to come back, tail between my legs, and be like, actually, yes, my first love is the love of my life.
Yep.
Let's raise babies. Gay.
Wow.
Gay.
I also just love thinking about baby gay Leigh and all of your little gay high school friends being like, yeah.
Yes, that's literally what we were doing, Ellie. I cannot impress enough upon you.
Oh, I see it.
How into this we were.
You don't have to convince me. I know.
This was me and Kate in our cars, music blasting, windows down, singing full chest, the gayest song we'd ever heard, right?
Yep. Sounds so right.
Also, listen, the ham jam clam jam of this song,
yes.
I would like to submit for consideration. Again, do I have a reason for any of these? No, it just feels gay. For some reason, the phrase, no, I ain't hoed a row since I don't know when, feels gay to me.
Yes.
Is it maybe that there's a wordplay somewhere in the back of my mind that feels like it says road hoe and that feels gay? I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? Make of this what you will,
There's
listener.
something about a hoe there. We get it.
There's
This person went
yeah.
to the big city, went to Nashville, was hoeing around.
And
then
rode
was
a
like,
hoe or two, and
then was like,
came back.
never mind. I'm gonna watch my children and like the garden, gay.
This episode is just Ellie and I yelling words at each other.
Yeah.
Gardens. Gay.
Cooking.
Yeah.
Cooking.
What is gayer than the radio? Okay, explain to me.
Exactly.
Nothing.
Exactly. No, I mean, that makes complete sense. I think it's also funny because this was like the reason you were like, we have to do the Chicks because this song was a gay awakening for you. And I'm curious to see if there was
there's more. Don't worry. They're all gay awakenings. No. They're just...
I know. I'm curious to see if there's other people in our audience. I would love to hear if you were also the gay who was blasting this song in your car, screaming at the top of your lungs with the other gays.
Here's what I'm gonna promise you, Ellie. Any gay listening right now who is I don't know what feels safe, 35 and up, 100%, I promise you. I'm not gonna say that doesn't mean the younger, like 35 and down didn't. I'm just saying there is no chance that anyone who was coming out in the early aughts was not feeling this. We were all on this page, okay?
That's so funny. I personally did not have that experience, so maybe it is the 35 and under, but I love that for you.
Yeah.
I love that for you.
Listen, it was this or tattoo. Our options were slim.
So limited. And
so,
the Chicks are significantly better than Tattoo.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Also just like musically so fucking good. They're so talented. And the harmonies are so tight. But that's not the gay thing about them.
Let's take a quick break and come back and talk about some more of our favorite gayest chick songs.
So let's talk about some other ones. I feel like Cowboy Take Me Away.
Yes.
Now, that one, this is funny. So when I was doing some research for this episode, you know how like I went on Google and was like, gayest chick songs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know they have the little AI thing at the top now that's like, I have answered your question through like finding search results. Like Google is answering your question for you without like looking at a thing.
Mm-hmm.
It said, Cowboy Take Me Away, an anthem about a gay cowboy. And I was like,
incredible.
Is it? I mean, it's funny because like not like I was like, oh wait, is that like I was like, is that actually what the song's about? And I was like, we can say it is, but it is funny because I'm like, that's not the text. We can read into the subtext of it all, but I found it so funny that Google said that Cowboy Take Me Away is like a Brokeback Mountain song.
It's written by a duo man-woman team, so who's to say, Ellie?
Who's to say? But I do feel like this is the same thing. There's like this, there's a lot of like running and taking away in Chicks music, right?
Yeah.
And I do feel like, I mean, first of all, this song is so good. Like, just like, oh God, it's such a good song. But I feel like there's like this idea of, I like to think if it is a gay song, right? Is like this person meets a cowboy. And I'm saying that, let's make it lesbian. This is a cowgirl, right? And it's like the dykiest cowgirl you could ever fucking see, right? And it's just this super like femme farm girl. And is like, I need to be with you, but like I can't be with you because like life means we can't, right? But like take me away, right? Like there's an escape, there's like a secret love that I feel like really runs through this song. You know?
Here's the thing. I have, as someone who has spent a lot of time with my gay feelings listening to this song,
of course.
I can propose a couple different queer readings of this song for you to choose which one you prefer.
Okay? Can't wait.
The first one, very simple, super straightforward. You know when people do this thing now where they'll be like, you see it a lot on like posts, like Twitter posts, thread posts, whatever. It's this sort of take of being like saying a statement and then putting in parentheses like derogatory or like positive, you know. So you'll be like, wow, like what a cunt positive, right? Like
Yeah.
that sort of thing. Here's what I would offer as the very simple, most straightforward gay take on this song. It just says cowboy parentheses queer. Take me away, right?
Yes.
Like
That's it.
the easiest thing is to just take cowboy as like an umbrella term that also includes a fucking hot cowgirl. That's
Yes.
it.
I agree. That's
Easy,
exactly what I see.
straightforward.
That's
Okay?
exactly what I see. Yes.
Here is what I would propose as another slightly different, slightly more complex take on the song.
Mm-hmm.
Singing to two different people. Okay?
Okay, because you love
So,
the
Uh, I wish. Listen, if I find a way to make this song about a gay throuple in my head, I will let you know immediately. It'll be like 3 a.m. and I'm just going to be texting you endlessly. No, here's what I'm imagining. I am imagining a gay little cowgirl who is torn, right? Singing to another woman. I want to sleep on the hard ground in the comfort of your arms, right? I want a blanket made of stars. That sounds so good to me. But I can't have that because I have to beard up. Cowboy, take me away.
Mm.
Like, fly me as high as you can. Like, get me as far away from this person that I want that I cannot have into the wild blue. Like, set me free, right?
Yes.
Like, take... this is like the you know, little gay teens praying every night for God to, like, take the feelings away, except instead, it's to this man in a cowboy.
Wow.
Being like, save me. And then you turn it back around where it's like, I want to not see anything around me except for you. Like, I don't want any other people around. No one's gonna judge us. No one's gonna, but I know I can't have it, cowboy. Take me away. Like,
Damn. That hits.
doesn't it?
That hits.
It does.
It's giving what's it called? Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time, where they're like talking about how, like, you know, it's like the two
yeah.
where it's like they're doing a spell and then they're like, simply having a wonderful Christmas time.
Simply
Yeah. Except I see this so much because, like, those, I want to grow something wild and unruly. Like, the verses are so fucking beautiful. But the verses, I feel like also that is funny because it is like verses are gay. Chorus is giving, like you said, is giving like hymnal. Is giving like Christian girl singing in her choir, being like, please, Lord, save me from save me from myself.
Save me from myself. Take the gay feelings away, Lord. Well, and here's the thing is, as a person who cares deeply and perhaps to excess about lyrics, here's what's always struck me about this song that I've always felt is interesting to me, is all of the verses are so much about grounding, earthiness. I want to dig in the dirt. I want to break the earth apart with my hands. I want to be rooted. I want to be planted. I want to be on this earth with you. And then the chorus is take me away, fly me as high as you can, up into the blue, like closer to heaven. Like, they don't
go together.
They don't go together.
Yeah, because
they're very at odds with each other.
At odds with
right?
each other. And it makes sense that like the dirt, the earth, the grounding is giving cottagecore.
Yeah.
Like it makes sense. Garden. You know, like, that's all I'm saying. Gardenly. But like the earth is gay, the sky is straight. We don't make the rules.
That's just science.
That's
just facts. We're just spitting straight facts here. No, but it does it in a way that I've always enjoyed, because the thing is I like when you have that separation and there's the verses versus the chorus, as opposed to, you know what song, I know this is just me on a tangent about lyrics now, but you know what song always drives me crazy with that is Ed Sheeran's Shivers, because I've always hated the line, you burn so hot you make me shiver with the fire you got.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make any sense. You give me the shivers, you're so hot. I'm like, meh. It bothers me, right? This, different.
Makes
and what
sense.
it does is it creates a break in the narrative of your song.
Continuum.
It creates this conflict between the two parts of your song. And to me, that's always read as a very conflicted person. It's a very conflicted song where everything is all about, like, I want to lie on the ground in in the flowers, in the dirt, in the earth, and dig into the dirt with our bare hands and root ourselves in it together.
But I need you to physically drag me into the sky.
I need someone to.
Yeah.
Like, I need a cowboy to take me away from this. You know? And it's like, to me, gay.
Okay.
Where do we go next? Because there are so many, and I feel like we're not going to have time to talk about all of them. So what do we want to do next, Ellie?
I feel like, well, I said cow would take me away, so you pick the next one.
Oh gosh. Okay. If I had to pick the next song, this is a struggle. I want to do all of them. Can we do Wide Open Spaces?
Yes, for sure.
While we're talking about nice big open into the sky, let's just,
Okay, first of all, this is giving lug, you know?
Yes. Yeah.
This to me is like, this girl's going off to college, right? She's like, I need some wide open spaces. I need, right? It's like room to make the big mistakes, right?
Yeah.
And to me, the big mistakes are heterosexuality.
Oh, I was going to say your first few girlfriends, but like, okay, sure.
But yes, sure.
However you want to read that, yeah.
You can read it as like, they're like, all right, she's experimenting. She doesn't know what's in store for her. But to me, the wide open spaces are the wide open spaces of like a liberal college from her conservative,
I mean,
space.
we've covered this in a couple of these songs already, but let's just look at the text, right? Shall we look at the words that they sing out loud with their mouths? Who's never left home? Who's never struck out to find a dream and a life of their own? Gay. Many proceed and many will follow. A young girl's dreams, no longer hollow, takes the shape of a place out west, but what it holds for her, she hasn't yet guessed. Listen, there's a lot of Silver Lake in the Chicks music, is all I'm saying. There's a lot of, North Hollywood. There's a lot of just queer communities. There's a lot of San Francisco. There's a lot of just West liberal, coastal, blue states where, oh my gosh, I would never have known what the future held for me out here.
It's so true. And that's one of the things I was thinking about as you're talking about this is like, one of the things that I think makes the Chicks so queer and so is like, there's a reason that like, I feel like a lot of country, like big country music people like got pissed off at them.
Yeah.
Right? We know this because they got political. But they've always been political. You guys are just idiots.
Yeah, they've been telling your daughters to move out to California be dykes the whole time.
The entire time.
The whole time.
The entire time. And that's why I think they're so brilliant, is because they, even in the beginning, of like they were like subtexting it. And that's why I'm like, they were just subtexting it. Most country music is glorifying. Country is glorifying the red states. Yeah. Right? Is glorifying the good old days. Most of the Chicks music is talking about leaving, is talking about getting away from this like rigid society you were born into, moving out west, like you said, to freaking California.
Because you need new faces, and
there's too many. You're the one of two gays in your town. You need new gays.
And then I also just love, there's something about the line, she knows the high stakes, that like always kind of feels like, like a lot of those southern midwestern gays who move out to liberal enclaves and possibly lose a lot of their family, lose a lot of their friendships, lose a lot of those relationships. Like, I don't know, there's something so funny about this song to me with lines like, she traveled this road as a child. Funny. Very Ring of Keys to me, right? That sort of message of being like, oh, weird. They like took her out to California as a kid and she was like, who are these dykes?
She was like, I must come back.
Yeah. But now she won't be coming back with the rest, right? It's like, listen, sometimes you see that door open and you can't close it again. You gotta
can't go back.
Walk right out of the closet and you can't go back in.
Exactly. I also would like to say honorable mention to her mom, who clearly is bisexual.
Yes. Yeah.
Because then it's like, she says, Mom stares out the window and says, I'm leaving my girl. She said it didn't seem like that long ago when she stood there and let her own folks know.
That sometimes she wanted to fuck women.
Literally.
Yeah.
Right? It's
That's what the song says,
That's
right?
what's exactly what it says. She's like,
Yeah.
my little gay daughter, go spread your wings. I guess I'll stay here with your father. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
it's giving...
The world wasn't ready for me yet, but it's ready for you.
Mm-hmm. It's giving generational gay.
It really is.
I mean, it's so obvious. It's so obvious. There's so many. I mean, I know we're getting close to the end, so I would like to move us through a few songs relatively quickly. How do you feel about that?
Okay. Do it. Hit me.
Okay. So I just want to talk about the political aspect of the Chicks, which
because we haven't talked about the Gaslighter album at all.
Yes. So, and also like
these are all the classics.
Yes, and also Not Ready to Make Nice. So like Not Ready to Make Nice, for context for people. Let me actually get more context so I don't make sure I don't like say this incorrectly.
Sure.
But there was a fuck ton of controversy, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah.
So when they wrote Not Ready to Make Nice, it was in 2006, and they were and it was after they had criticized George W. Bush in 2003, right? And this was a moment where it was like, stick to music, like shut up and sing, right? And they used that phrase also, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this, like, we already knew the Chicks, like, that's what I'm trying to say, that we already knew the Chicks. Any of us who were listening from the beginning and who are gay as fuck knew how the Chicks were. This is the Chicks literally saying, we are queer.
Yes. And here's the thing. It is hard to contextualize that time frame for people who probably, like, I know many of our listeners might be too young to remember or have really lived through that time, but this was 2003. The Chicks coming out at the time as country music stars on stage at a live concert, criticizing Bush, criticizing the Iraqi war, like just all of these things that were not really popular political positions to take, and especially not in the, patriotic Americana steeped country music scene. Like they were absolutely blacklisted. Like their career just nosedived immediately, especially in the country music world. And so they came out with this song that was basically just a huge like, hey, fuck all y'all. Right?
Exactly.
And it was that was a huge statement at the time. And then they basically just didn't make music for almost a decade. Like they just couldn't get that same support, visibility. Like I think it just really, really must have been an incredibly difficult time for them. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy.
But I will say that Not Ready, it's funny to me, Not Ready to Make Nice is the Chicks' biggest hit in Canada.
That's awesome. Like, that's awesome.
Canadians were like, yeah, bitch. And it won 3 Grammys. Like, that particular song hit. And there's a whole...
It still hits. It's a great song.
Oh my God, it hits so good. There's a whole thing about how, like, they were talking about, like, what kind of song they want to write. And their producer or whatever came up with one of the ideas that was like, let's write something like, let's all get along, give peace a chance. And they were like, no, we're not doing that. And then they came up with Not Ready to Make Nice, right? And I think, like, what I love about the Chicks is that, like, they say what they want to say. They don't care to pander to the conservative base of country.
Yeah.
They quite literally spoke out against a conservative president. Like, they're badass for that.
They spoke out against a conservative president. When they came back with their next album, which was Gaslighter, I think was like their first big release after that whole period. So they come back with Gaslighter. Gaslighter, for that, they worked with a queer songwriter, a trans woman producer. They worked with Jack Antonoff, right? So they again, this sort of queer adjacent scene of people and come out with these songs where they did, like, March March has a whole music video that's a pride parade. They have Black Lives Matter protesters in it. They come back with this huge kind of, like, you know, again, like, queer, minority, like, just the groups that are getting pushed down, and they're sort of like, nope, we will boost them back up, and we're all going to, you know, come back together and all this stuff. And I mean, yeah, like, I think there's just a lot of their message that is very based around the idea of, like, other people don't get to tell you how to be. They don't get to tell you who you are. They don't get to tell you all of these things. They come back, they drop Dixie from their name. I mean, again, I'm the worst about doing this because, I really did have a huge phase where I must have said the name Dixie Chicks, like, just millions of times in my life. So I still trip up and get it wrong all the time. But yeah, they came back and they were like, hey, you know what? Actually, Dixie feels gross to us right now. Like, that is not what we want to be associated with. That's not the vibe that we want people to have in mind when they think of us. Like, first of all, so gay to go from Dixie Chicks to the Chicks. Gay. I just think that their whole vibe, be queer. Like, are they themselves gay? Sadly, no, as they keep telling us in every interview, even though they keep talking about how they are totally aware that, like, people really want them to be and are sad that they are, and they're like, yeah, wouldn't that be nice? So we're gonna take them at their word, but vibes are queer.
The vibes are queer. The vibes are so queer. So we agree. The chick should have been gay.
Should have been gay.
All right, we're gonna head into our Q and gay. Here we go.
Q and gay.
Question number 1, Leigh. What is the gayest chick song? A, Goodbye Earl. B, Long Time Gone. C, Wide Open Spaces. Or D, Cowboy Take Me Away.
I mean, it's an impossible question, but if I have to really go with my heart, I'm gonna say Long Time Gone.
We knew it. We all felt it.
Question 2, Ellie. What country instrument would you most want to play in a group out of A, mandolin, B, harmonica, C, fiddle, or D, pedal steel guitar?
Great question. I feel like C, fiddle. I feel like that, like, playing the fiddle in a country band is cool.
It is pretty cool, right?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. You get all those cool solos.
Exactly. You get the features.
But if you go with the harmonica, you get to have a whole case of harmonicas.
You're right. You're so right. And it's actually probably easier to transport. All right, question number 3. What's your favorite Chicks cover? Obviously, there's a lot of Chicks covers, but I went with some of the more mainstream Chicks covers that you, like, are a cover.
It.
A, Landslide. B, Top of the World. C, Wrecking Ball. Or D, You Can't Hurry Love.
I mean, here's the thing. The nostalgia in me cannot get past Landslide. Like, that's just a classic.
That's
a classic. It's
honestly
so good.
I just wrote this question because I love Landslide.
I mean, who doesn't?
Their version is so good. Like, so good.
They're all great. But I think when you said there are certain songs that have just become Chicks songs, even if they weren't theirs to begin with, top of that list, Landslide. It's just, that's theirs. It's theirs now. Sorry.
Such a good
we
cover.
don't make the rules.
Sorry, Fleetwood Mac.
Sorry.
Stevie fucking Nicks.
Sorry to break it to you.
That is so funny.
It's the Chicks now.
It also is in a different musical thing. It's also in a different key. And I like that. It's in a higher key than the original. And vocally, it's much more satisfying to sing.
Ellie loves an opt-up anyways.
That's all.
Question 4, Ellie. Who's your favorite chick? A, Natalie Maines, B, Marty McGuire, or C, Emily Strayer?
It's got to be Natalie for me. The vocals hit.
The vocals, and also I think she has the gayest aesthetic.
Vibe.
Yeah.
She really does.
I think so too.
All right, final question. What's the gayest activity in a Chicks song? A, gardening, B, church choir, C, going west, or D, murder?
They're all gay.
All gay.
I think textual value, I'm going to go going west. Subtextual value, gardening.
Garden.
Gardening, be gay, okay?
It's the garden for me.
They are getting gay in that dirt, that's all. There's just a lot of dirt in their songs.
So much dirt.
So much dirt.
There's
a lot of soil.
Some dirty lesbians.
Some dirty lesbians.
Some dirty dykes.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Wow. What an episode, Leigh. Good times.
Good job, us.
Remember, you can also answer our Q&A questions on our Instagram at Lez Hang Out Pod.
Let me hear you say, hip, 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 we're gay.
We love hearing from all of you. We love continuing to build this community, and we just want to shout out some of our favorite things every episode. And this week, we want to shout out Alyssa, who reached out to us on Instagram about one of our quotes from our speculation episode to let us know that they apparently have a 200-slide Gaylor PowerPoint. And
which we've been asking for.
Alyssa, send us the PowerPoint.
Please.
Where's the PowerPoint,
Our
Alyssa?
email address is lezhangoutpod@gmail.com. What are you doing? Send it.
Send it. As always, we want to thank our Lesbian Jesus patrons, Mark Foster,
Lizette Stye,
Adi Benitez,
Sophia Phillips,
and Armani Gucci.
And our King Princess patrons, Amy and Ellen.
And Andrea Doucette. Thank you all so much. We could not continue to do this show without your support and the support of all of our patrons.
Remember, you can also find us on all the social medias, Instagram, Facebook, Blue Sky, and TikTok at Lez Hang Out Pod.
You can email us at lezhangoutpod@gmail.com.
You can check out our website at lezhangoutpod.com.
Whatever app you use to listen to podcasts, make sure that you subscribe. That way you'll be the first to know when new episodes go up.
We're also posting videos on our YouTube channel, so make sure you subscribe at youtube.com/lezhangoutpod to catch them.
Lez Hang Out is an independently produced show. It's hosted by us. Our audio production is by Ellie. Our production assistant is Krista Mearson, and various other podcasting shenanigans are done by me.
If you want to support the podcast, the easiest way to do that is rate and review us on wherever you listen to your podcast. We love hearing what you have to say.
If you want to join our Patreon, it is one of the best ways to help support us in making this show. You get access to our Discord channel. You get access to our Patreon-only bonus Lez-tricurricular episodes. You can join that at bit.ly/LezPatreon.
If you would like to get some Lez Hang Out merch, you can get that at bit.ly/LezMerch. We have all kinds of fun stuff on there that shows the world you're gay, you're gay, you're gay.
And remember, we have a queer production company making queer podcast musicals with guaranteed happy endings you can find everywhere at Dollar Bean Prod.
Or at our website, dollarbeanproductions.com.
You can listen to all of the episodes of our first show, The Flame, or our second show, Journey to the Heart, anywhere you listen to podcasts.
And if you want to help support us making musicals, you can join our Patreon at bit.ly/dollarbeanpatreon.
If you want to follow us individually, you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky at LSH Foster.
You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Ellie Brigida. With that, I'm Ellie.
And I'm Leigh. And let's hang out again soon.
Let's hang out.
Ladies and gentlemen.
What are you doing?
What do you mean?
Just keep it simple.
I'm making the promo.
Just keep it simple. Just say, hey, we're the Brav Bros. Two guys that talk about Bravo.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're the Brav Bros.
No.
Oh.
Dude, stop with the voice. Just keep it simple.
I've seen promos on TV, dude. This is how you get the fans engaged. This is how you get listeners. We're trying to get listeners here. If we just say, oh, we're two dudes that talk about Bravo, people are going to get tired of it already. We need some oomph.
All right, then fine. Let's try to do it with your voice.
Brav Bros.
Good job.